So, because in a matter of hours I will be sworn in as Her Majesty's royal subject and so on and so forth, and my mum has recently also done the same, I thought that we might make this sort of little milestone video to sort of look back on a couple of things. I've got my faithful sheet of questions that I would like to ask my mum, and we're just going to have a little back and forth. I'm just sort of experimenting with simple ideas. So, hello Mum, introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hi, I'm Albina.
Right. So, Mum, what's your earliest memory of the United Kingdom and England?
I arrived for first time in November 2006, and the first thing what I actually remember is Oxford Street prepared for Christmas. Very beautiful. I never saw before nothing like this.
No, we sure didn't have those back home, did we?
Yeah, and I felt in love. Just, it was so beautiful. And then I arrived again 1 year later in November 2007 to participate in a seminar, and actually that was the time when I decided that that's my city, I want to live here. And I told to one of my friends, listen, I want to move and to live here. She said, if you have strong intention, it will happen. And it happened a few months ago. We came.
Few months ago? You mean 6 years ago?
No, I mean few months later, after
right.
2007, because we arrived
2008 in August.
August 2008, and yeah, that's the first thing. Very, very beautiful Oxford Street prepared for Christmas. That's my first intention. What do you remember?
Oh yeah, my first memory was first of all the White Cliffs of Dover, because that's where we passed with, we came here by bus, unlike most people. It took us 3 days to cross most of Europe. We saw some sights and were crammed on a bus with another...
Hot weather?
Yeah, very hot weather. And I remember the White Cliffs of Dover, and also coming out of Victoria Station and seeing that all the roads are marked with look right, look left, press this button, wait, now breathe. It was just as if they were giving you instructions for everything, and I thought, wow, what kind of people live here?
Yeah.
So what was your biggest fear when we first arrived here? What was...
I was afraid I will fail, and it's just because
it was such a big
I came
step
without any idea what kind of job I can find, and as well I came not by myself but just with a 14 years old son, a teenager, and it was scary in the beginning because it happens sometimes I had only 20 pounds and I didn't know until when I have only 20 pounds. And yeah, I was very scared about am I able to manage everything with the job, with the payments of the bills, everything with the documents. So yeah, that was the biggest one.
I remember you were just going left and right, just coming from one side of London to the other side of London, and then coming back home super tired.
I was working for an agency, and sometimes the ladies sent me to the opposite side of London, and I remember once she told me, you have to go to Surbiton and to clean a school, and they will pay you 20 pounds per day. I checked how much will cost me to travel, and I understood that it will be 9 pounds, and I was thinking, okay, so I'll go somewhere far away from here just to work for 11 pounds today. But then I said, okay, but tonight I will have something to give for dinner to my son with this 11 pounds. And
which
I went.
I greatly appreciate.
So that was in the very beginning.
So what would you say was your greatest success? Obviously now that we're both, well, you are a sworn citizen and I'm just about to be a sworn citizen, that, excluding that, what are your other big triumphs of your time here?
Um, Many of them, but the very first one as well was when in 1 month, I was able to find a nice job, a very good one, and I received plenty of experience with this company. When I started, it was in September 2008, less than 1 month after we arrived together. And
Which, just for our viewers, back then, our the people from our country weren't able to work as whatever they wanted to. As soon as they came in, we had definite work restrictions, like very, like it was a lot of loopholes to jump through.
and that was a kind of success for me, yeah, that I was lucky to find this job, and I was successful working for this company for about half a year.
And to this day, you still do the
Yeah,
same
and I'm
type
doing
of work.
the same type of work, so that was the very first success, and I'm very, very happy that it happened, and I met this lady, my boss.
So, would you say she is one of your biggest supports here? I mean,
Yes, she was one of my biggest supporters. You are the other one, of course.
no, shucks.
And yes, I'm very grateful that I met her, and she helped me very much in the beginning, just giving me this job, and as well, she helped me with references for our first flat when we rented, and she helped me very much, giving me even the money for the first deposit.
Yeah, and what a flat it was, right? Straight view to Canary Wharf.
Yeah, brilliant one.
People could just
We
dream
were
of that
lucky
view.
to find it.
Very,
Yeah.
very lucky to find it, and I really liked it there.
So Natalia Sergeyevna Yashina, that's her name. I'm thinking now very often about where she is, and just want to say thank you so much.
Do remind me to track her down for you so you can say it in person. So what's the biggest change you've noticed in yourself over the years?
So now I feel myself more, let's say, more British. Yeah, because in the beginning we came from a different culture, different type of life, if you want to say like this. And I was wondering how strange plenty of things were for me in the very beginning, and I didn't understand many of the parts of the lifestyle here, and mentality, and how the people communicate with each other. And now I feel more comfortable with this everything, and I feel like I am a part of this everything.
Well, you are. I mean, I could only imagine what it was like for you. I mean, I found it weird, but I was only 14. I hadn't lived so long.
Yeah, for you that was a really, really big change, and I understand that.
It was a culture
difficult.
shock. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
But to be fair, we adapted pretty well.
I think so.
I think
Thank
we've
you.
done. Thank you.
No, I'm serious. I want to say thank you, because you're my biggest support through these years.
Well, of course, I owe you everything, as they say. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the way of life. I didn't understand it at first. You didn't understand it at first. We were completely different people, and even now. Sometimes I meet people who are just like, you know, I tell them stories from back home, and they're just like, "Did you sue the guy?" And it's like, why would we? That's not the way it worked. And they're just like, "Wow, your country's weird." And it's like,
Yes, it is.
It is pretty weird now that you mention it. So now that you've made this massive step, I mean, it took us 6 years to get to the point where we are today.
Mhm.
Now that we've done this, what does this change for you, for me? What does this? How does this make a
I
difference?
really don't
for
know
us?
what to say. I hope the very important thing for me, I hope now I'll find a job, a good job, easier than it was before, because I wasn't able to work as an employee till now, and now I expect to use all my experience and degrees in the right way, and that's one of the things what I expect as a change.
And you must be pretty happy about that. I mean, not many people, I don't know how many people can cope with all their life being experienced for one thing and then being stuck with the lowest no-skilled jobs for quite a while.
Yeah, let's see what will be. I hope the citizenship will help me to find a
Oh,
better
it,
job.
it should. I mean, no matter what they say, just if you say I'm Bulgarian, they just go, that would be too much paperwork.
Yeah.
And now you can say I'm British, and they're just like, welcome aboard.
I hope so.
Absolutely. And did you have any regrets with your decision to move?
Not at all.
So there was no point where you were like, fuck this.
No, I don't think so. No.
That's great. I mean, I might have said, I've been thinking about it, I might have said a couple of times, I want to go back home, but
Yes, I remember.
don't listen to, I'm glad you didn't listen to my 15-year-old self, because
Yeah.
I went back for a month and I don't
Yeah,
think...
because it was difficult for you and more difficult than for me, because that was my decision, and I knew that, yes, this is my decision, and I'm here because I wanted to be here.
But
So never, to be honest, never, I didn't regret.
well, I supported you in your decision as much as I could. To be fair, I must thank you for it, because it got me to where I am now. I mean, I now have a passion. So, yeah. And is there anything, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would have done differently?
What do you mean?
About the whole move, knowing that you know what you've learned over the 6 years, is there any point that you would change, go back and be like, oh, I would have done this better?
No, everything happened in the best way for us, in the right moment. So I'm just happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything that you miss about home?
Yes. Yes.
Surely more so than me, because I didn't
Yes, I
have
miss
much
very
to
much
miss.
my friends and the style of life which we had there.
The parties.
Yes, the parties,
fun.
the communication between the people. Yeah,
Yeah,
people are connected.
yeah, people are colder here, and they just don't talk to each other. Wherever it is, it's just.
And the lifestyle is different, you know. Everyone lives in her on his house, and it was different. If you remember how we.
Yeah, we knew all our neighbors back then in a big building of flats, and we knew all our
Yes.
neighbors.
And all our friends. This is what I miss very much, and the theater as well. I just dream about going there for 2 months and to be in the theater every night.
Ooh, take me with you.
I miss this very much.
Well, remind me, because I'm pretty sure you haven't seen many productions of British plays and so on and so forth, besides mine, obviously. I would say remind me to take you to the theatre, because even England has some beautiful, amazing actors that definitely
yes,
deserve to
sure.
be seen. I mean,
The only thing is, there in Bulgaria, I understand everything, every word, every idea, every feeling in the play. But
I'll
I'm
make
not
sure
sure
it's a
about
play, you
here.
know. I'll make sure it's a play that you know pretty well, so that you can still
Okay,
follow
thank
along.
you. Thank you.
And one last question: if anybody was to ask you for advice, what should I like? If anybody's thinking about moving here from a different country, is there any advice you would give them? Any sort of something that would help them along the way or with the process?
The standard thing, but it's really true. just to follow her or his dreams. That's it. That's it. What you have to do. Follow your dreams, and be strong, and don't come with plenty of expectations, because the beginning is always difficult. But definitely, I can give this advice to everybody.
That's
To
great.
come, because this is a good country, nice.
Don't let
living.
UKIP hear you say that.
Yes, I already did it with some of my friends. I just told them, come, just come, because it's a nice country for living, and they did it, and they're happy as well. So I'm happy that I help with my advice.
Yeah,
And
not only
I
that,
would
but-
give anybody the same advice. Just follow your dreams. If you want to be here, just come.
Yeah, and now that you say that you might miss your friends, but it turns out, I don't know about you, but it turns out that a lot of my friends from back home, they're now studying all over England in universities.
Yeah, many people came.
In Exeter and Scotland, and I actually have a friend in Kent. I just recently found that out, that that one of my friends studied in Kent. It was just such a coincidence, and the ones that aren't here say, I really want to be here,
Yeah.
or in Germany. Which is, I mean, slowly but surely that is happening. We will get our friends back, Mom. We will.
Yeah, for your generation that's possible, but not for mine. They're afraid to take the risk and to be so adventurous.
Definitely, it is a risk. And once again, thank you so much for taking it, because it's been for the better. I mean, I was a straight like C student back home, but once I came here, like A's all the way.
Okay.
So that was it. That was some of our experiences in this country for the last 6 years. As I said, this is not so much for you guys as it is for us. Maybe one day we'll look back at it and laugh at how weird stuff was and everything. I know I sure am now. I mean, remember that one time where I was like, oh, I gotta go to Bulgarian school, but I had like an entire bottle of something very strong.
Yeah.
You're like, where are you going? I gotta recite my poem.
Yeah, I remember it.
So thanks for anybody tuning in, and yeah, I hope this was in some way insightful into what life is sort of like for us, or was rather. Hopefully things will change now. Bye bye. Yeah, so, now that you are... Hi, Nikki! We have a little guest here. So, now that you've done this major step in your life...
You got a purple teddy bear.
What?
Do you mind? We're recording.
You got this purple.
Oh, sweetie. Love the spotlight. Take it.
She... Girl after my own heart, that is.